Hi, guys. We're going to read Chapter 8 of our Bigfoot story, Lemons by Melissa Savage. It is titled Dermal Ridges. I am sure there are fingerprints to dust for this time, Mrs. Dickerson tells us, sliding her cane towards the kitchen in the back of the house. The whole place smells like sugar and cinnamon and nutmeg and peanut butter and fresh brewed tea leaves. It just makes my stomach moan. I was in the kitchen here baking, and wasn't I surprised to turn around and see a Bigfoot staring at me through the window of all the things, leaned up right there up against the sill. She nods to the window facing the thick woods out back. When I turned to look at him, he growled at me through the glass. Right here is where I dropped the hot pan of cookies I had just taken out of the oven. She motions to a small indentation in the wood floor. Tobin aims his Polaroid camera at the dent in the floor, and he takes a picture of it. The camera spits out a photo. He grabs the photo and he hands it to me. Exhibit A, he says, and he turns back to Mrs. Dickerson. Then what happened? Well, I had to throw all those cookies away in the trash, of course. No, Miss Dickerson, with the book Bigfoot, Tobin says. Oh, yes. Well, the pan had made this horribly loud bang, which must have startled him, because that's when he darted off into the trees, but not before giving out the loudest, shrillest scream I've ever heard in all of my days. It made the hairs on the back of my neck stand straight up. My goodness, something. Oh, it was just something, all right. We can check for prints on all the glass in the sill, Tobin tells me, adjusting his chin strap. I sure hope you're right this time, Miss Dickerson. You know, I keep my camera here just in case, but it happened so quickly I didn't have a chance to grab for it. Miss Dickerson points to the camera hanging on the hook next to the refrigerator. Me and my assistant will go check the window in the question, and then we will bring all the evidence back to HQ for further evaluation. Tobin nods at me, all official like. HQ. I roll my eyes. Then I head out the back door and down the cement steps with Tobin at my heels. That's right, headquarters, he says, and he points to the ground just under the kitchen window and takes a picture of it. Grass, no footprints to cast. I watch him take off his glasses and eyeball every inch of the window, his nose so close that his breath makes small circles of fog on the panes. Then he carefully sets his leather case on the ground and unzips it. He pulls out a jar filled with blackish powder and also a big round paintbrush. I watch him swirl the brush inside the jar of powder and then brush tiny circles along the window and windowsill. The powder smears into a messy grayish cloud all over the glass. I don't think she's going to like you doing that to her window, I tell him. That's how you dust for prints, he says, pushing up his glasses with his forearms. No footprints to cast, but there could be finger or palm prints on the window. Bigfoot fingerprints? He sighs like I'm the biggest dope in the entire universe. The Bigfoot is a descendant of the Gigantopithecus, he explains as he swirls the brush. It's a species of the giant ape from Asia that is believed to have been extinct for more than 1,000,000 years. We know is that humans have friction skin, like fingerprints or dermal ridges, that usually go in one direction, and primates have dermal ridges that usually go in another direction. Plus, they're coarser and wider. I'm dusting to see what kind of prints these are, human or non human prints. Oh, is all I can think to say. What do you want me to do? Grab the tape from the case and we'll see if we can lift some prints from the glass. I bend down and dig through his leather case. There's a movie camera inside, a bunch of packets of unused film, extra pens, tweezers, and one silver dollar. At the bottom, I feel something else, and I pull it out. It's an old picture of some man with reddish brownish curls leaned up against a silver convertible holding a baby. Who's this? I hold the picture up. Tobin doesn't even hear me. Now he's examining his grayish, cloudy masterpiece with the magnifying glass that he's pulled out of his back pocket. Who's this? I ask again. Tobin turns to look at what I'm holding in my hand, and then he turns back towards the window. My dad, he says. Is that you with him? I ask again. He sighs, one of those loud sighs again. Did you find the tape or not? Sorry, I say, putting the picture back in and digging down deeper to find a roll of Scotch tape. I don't have a dad, I say matter-of-factly, holding the tape in his direction. What do you mean you don't have a dad? He asks without taking his eyes off the glass. Everyone has a dad. Not me, I say. Mama told me he didn't want to be a father when I was born, so I guess you could say that technically I don't have one. Here, he looks at me. The tape, I hold it toward him. Don't need it, he sighs. There are no prints to lift. So you don't need the tape? Mrs. Dickerson, Tobin motions through the glass. I'm just not seeing anything back here. Come on back. She pokes her head out the back screen. Well, isn't that a shame? Are you absolutely sure? Pretty sure. He examines the window again through the magnifying glass. I'm not finding a fingerprint or a palm print or anything. Well, fiddlesticks, she says, disappointed. Tobin shakes his head and he drops his hands to his side. Nope, there's just nothing, he says, looking back up at her in the doorway. My goodness, I hate to have you kids come all this way out for nothing. How about some cookies and tea before you leave? I have peanut butter and molasses fresh out of the oven this morning, she says, and she wrinkles up her nose, swallowing up her eyes. That's it for chapter 8. Y'all have a wonderful day. Tomorrow we will do chapter 9, Sour Lemons.